Word Archived Series. Do Well. Part 3. Enduring the Process. If you had an opportunity to write a letter to your younger self, what would you write? Would you tell him or her to be determined, not to allow people's views define him or her, keep on fighting, love your family, keep yourself safe, or this and that? If you didn't think of this before, you are probably overwhelmed with ideas. Well, here is what I would say. I would tell my younger self not to be too hard on himself. We are in an age where success isn't an option but a must. And as prices of goods keep on increasing by day, people are forced to do anything just to have a meal, to survive, or in order to keep the stability of their families. My dear friends, brothers, sisters, mothers, fathers, and all unfamiliar faces, listen to my voice and listen to it attentively. Why are you so hard on yourself? Why are you pushing yourself through difficulties like this? Why are you letting them treat you like this? It's true that we are in an age where times are difficult. And as a result, we must push ourselves beyond the limits if we wish to see a better tomorrow. But is that what you truly feel? Is that the reason for all your hard work? Or maybe you are doing it for something else? Regardless of how bad this world is, I believe and I know that there are good people all around us. And I'm sure you are among them. I stand to be corrected, but I know you are not doing it to please others but to help. You are doing it so that those who will come after you will not have to suffer. However, you are too hard on yourself. You have the right to keep on pushing forward, but that's no excuse. The most difficult part of our journey in life, be it school, work, businesses, marriages, and so on and so forth, it's not taking the first step, no, but enduring the process. Endurance is the greatest tribulation there's in this world, and unfortunately, many have failed to endure. Struggles are part of all generations, even those great Bible figures we hear of, they too had to endure the same. It's our responsibility to strive forward because we have to, but remember, there's only one person like you in this world. Regardless of what many may say, you are unique, science and people's views can't change that. You are one of the kind, but your work, school, businesses and among many other things, they are not. Friend, be attentive, only a few people will recognize your absence if you are gone. Even those you hold dearest to your heart, in a few days after your departure from this world, they will forget you. They will, because that's the nature of things. It is in all things, you have noticed this yourself, once a person dies, nature repossesses. Your place of rest in a few weeks or months will look like a bush. It will look like no human is resting there. Some will even build roads on it, vehicles will drive over it, and no one will even remember your name or face. I know that's when you are starting that business of yours. I know that's when you are beginning to understand your lessons at school. Or perhaps, you have already started that journey a long time ago, but you feel like you are still behind. When you look to the left and to the right, people you were with are gone. Others are doing well, or have fallen short, while some are just watching you. When you look to the back, you don't see those who were behind you. And when you look to the front, those you left behind are in front of you. In that moment, you realize that you aren't investing in enough effort. You think to yourself, I'm not doing enough. Listen, you are too hard on yourself. I know what you have gone through, the Lord knows it too, many also have gone through it at some point in their life. You are not the only one experiencing such an issue. Anyone who is anyone as long as they are alive, they have experienced such. A wise man once said, I do what I can, simply because that's what I can. What does that mean? You can only produce what your body can produce based on its limits. This productivity is based on your present limitations. For instance, you can't lift a vehicle because your body doesn't have enough muscle power to do that. However, if you give it time, and do more physical works and exercises, at some point you will manage to do it. Nevertheless, let's face it, right now you can't, you have tried. Some have even reached a point where they almost died. Whether it's your fault or not, either way, this isn't the time to lecture yourself on how unwell you are doing, no. Trust me, trust us, trust those who have said these same words to you. You have a long way to go. And you won't make it if you take a time out and lecture yourself on how bad you have performed, how far behind you are from the goal, or how low you are from the top. The Bible is one of the best collection of real-life examples concerning people who managed and those who didn't. Among them is Cain. Many of us think that Cain was the villain in the story. It's undeniable. After all, we were told that what he did was bad, and it is truly bad. However, behind all wicked men, there was once a good person. Times and circumstances have the power to modify a person. Cain was a victim of that, and his decisions made it worse. After Adam and Eve were exiled from the Garden of Eden, they had two sons, Cain and Abel. And Adam knew Eve his wife, and she conceived, and bare Cain, and said, I have gotten a man from the Lord. And she again bare his brother Abel. And Abel was a keeper of sheep, but Cain was a tiller of the ground. And in process of time it came to pass, that Cain brought of the fruit of the ground an offering unto the Lord. And Abel, he also brought of the firstlings of his flock and of the fat thereof. And the Lord had respect unto Abel and to his offering, but unto Cain and to his offering he had not respect. And Cain was very wroth, and his countenance fell. And the Lord said unto Cain, Why art thou wroth? And why is thy countenance fallen? If thou doest well, shalt thou not be accepted. And if thou doest not well, sin lieth at the door. And unto thee shall be his desire, and thou shalt rule over him. A lot of people have done terrible things in life not because they were forced, but simply because they were performing so badly at what they were doing. They looked at their present situations, looked at their neighbors and realized, they were behind, badly performing and unworthy. The problem was that they didn't ask themselves what wrong they were doing. Instead, they kept on looking at what was on other people's plate. As days went by, desire, lust, greed, envy and all sort of emotions begun to develop. When desire roots itself in you so deep that you can't control it, one day it will affect your life. And Cain talked with Abel his brother, and it came to pass, when they were in the field, that Cain rose up against Abel his brother, and slew him. And the Lord said unto Cain, Where is Abel thy brother? And he said, I know not, am I my brother's keeper? And he said, What hast thou done? The voice of thy brother's blood crieth unto me from the ground. And now art thou cursed from the earth, which hath opened her mouth to receive thy brother's blood from thy hand. When thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength, a fugitive and a vagabond shalt thou be in the earth. And Cain said unto the Lord, My punishment is greater than I can bear. Genesis 4, 1-13. Allergic reactions are ways in which the body tells you that the kind of thing, for example, foods, you might be eating contain certain chemicals that don't react well in your body. Some people can't eat certain foods because they are allergic or their bodies can't digest the kind of chemicals in there. This is known as allergic reaction, and it's real. Some certain foods are just not meant for them. So next time you're busy looking at the kinds of delicious and expensive foods your friend has, remember, maybe what they have, you might be allergic to them. Perhaps, what they have can and will definitely kill you. Yes, it's true, you are a bit behind. Yes, it's true, you have lost a bit of time. Yes, it's true, some of your friends have gone a bit far. Well, actually, they have gone very far and they have achieved a lot. They are so far that you can't even see them. You have the right to be angry at yourself. You have the right to be sad. You have the right to lecture yourself and to force your mind to concentrate into doing well. However, you are just too hard on yourself. When Jesus came to the world, he was given the opportunity to minister before men, and told the truth he did. We all know that he was the Messiah. He truly came to save us and show us the way. Unfortunately, the picture we had of him before he came was different. The kind of understanding we had of Jesus was totally parallel to our today's. We were all assuming that he was coming as a conqueror with great armies to destroy wickedness, evil rulers and do what conquerors do. But when he came, he plainly explained it. This kind of shift we were expecting was meant to come but not during the time. As Jesus stood in front of the crowd, he quoted a passage from the scriptures concerning the long prophesied Messiah to them and concluded by saying it was fulfilled. He further added by saying that the Spirit of the Lord was upon him to minister the word, healing and to bring freedom. The Spirit of the Lord is upon me, because he hath anointed me to preach the gospel to the poor. He hath sent me to heal the brokenhearted, to preach deliverance to the captives, and recovering of sight to the blind, to set at liberty them that are bruised, to preach the acceptable year of the Lord. And he closed the book, and he gave it again to the minister, and sat down. And the eyes of all them that were in the synagogue were fastened on him. And he began to say unto them, This day is this scripture fulfilled in your ears. And all bare him witness, and wondered at the gracious words which proceeded out of his mouth. And they said, Is not this Joseph's son? Luke 4:18-22. The tasks outlined in the scriptures by Jesus were made possible with the help of the Spirit of the Lord. Do you really want to excel in life? Do you really want to do better? Stop over pushing yourself, take a breather, and ask the Spirit of the ancient days. Ask him, What have you come upon me to do? A lot of people are going against what the Spirit is saying. If you chain two vehicles back to back and let them drive in opposite directions, no matter how fast they were made, they will not go anywhere. For some people, the Spirit of the Lord has been instructing them to go a certain direction, but for whatever reason, they decided to take the opposite route. This has resulted in no movements, no changes or success in their lives. If there's a movement or change, it's just minor. Ask Jonah, he knows exactly what we are talking about. Meanwhile, some of us are experiencing the same simply because the Spirit of God is absent in our lives. How can someone know that the Spirit is there or absent in their lives? My dearest friends, you are born not of flesh only, but of the Spirit. When the Spirit of God is upon you, you will know. And when He has left, your spirit and your soul will start crying from within, and you will hear it. Listen closely, be alert, be quick to listen, for you are too fast. That's the reason why you can't hear it. The world is moving so fast and so loud. As a result, we are forced to adapt. However, if you allow that system to root itself in you, you will have difficulties later in life. You have already started the journey, now it's time to endure its process. It's time to keep on moving, it's time to forge ahead. If you think that you are slowing down, just close your eyes, and say these words to yourself: Heavenly Father, I surrender my life in your hands, give me divine speed, and run as fast as you can. You will be surprised at what will happen. And always remember, it's difficult for a ship to make a proper voyage if its captain and crew are governed by disorder. The sea is a terrible place to be. Millions of people and goods have seen first-hand of it. Your mind is the captain and the crew of the ship, while the ship is your body and life. If you govern your mind and your body, you will definitely achieve what you are after. Be absolute confident in your strength, believe that you can accomplish anything. And you will achieve it, trust me, you will. Please subscribe, like, comment and share. Your support will be highly appreciated.